Hey kids, it's Miss Sasha. Welcome back to art class today. I'm super excited to be here. Today we're going to be inspired by a famous artist named Pablo Picasso and his Cubism style of art. We're going to create very interesting abstract shape faces. We're also going to talk about some math concepts that you've been learning about with your classroom teacher, like more than, less than, big, small, short, tall, empty, full, all of those cool things you've been learning about in class. Well, what is abstract art? Abstract art is all about shapes and colors and the feelings that it expresses, not about what the picture really looks like, just like Pablo Picasso's famous art piece called The Three Musicians. There are three musicians in this picture. There's a clarinet player, there's a guitar player, and a man holding sheet music, right? But this is a flat painting. Even though it looks like he might have cut this out of paper and glued it all together, it's all just paint. And it's bright colors, and all the shapes are very box-like or geometric, right? So this is what abstract art is. This is an abstract sculpture, and a sculpture is a type of art that has to have dimension. It has to have height, width, and depth, just like a cube. This could be a dinosaur. It could be a dog. We don't know. It's kind of silly looking. So this is an abstract sculpture. It's much different from my turtle sculpture. It looks like a turtle. It's shaped like a turtle. So it is a turtle. There's no question to whether or not this is a turtle. The other one is just a silly dinosaur, dog, we don't know. Cubism is called Cubism because the items in the artwork look like they're made out of cubes and other geometrical shapes. Shapes are things you talk about in math all the time. Cubism was first started by Pablo Picasso and another man named George Braque. There were two artists that did a lot of art in the style of Cubism and very abstract, right? Do you remember what the word inspired by means? Remember, today we're inspired by Pablo Picasso and his Cubism style of art. What does inspired by mean? Do you remember? It means that you make someone feel like they want to do something and that they can actually do it. Kind of like your teacher. Your teacher might inspire you to read more or even write a book because of her silly or amazing stories that she tells. Or maybe your coach, your soccer coach or your baseball coach would say, you know, you should practice more. You're really good at what you're doing. And he might inspire you to become a better sports guy, right? Maybe someone who can kick the ball harder, bounce that basketball a little bit better, right? Or I might even inspire you to do more art, right? So today we're going to use different shapes, colors, and lines to create an abstract face, like all of these faces up here. Can you see all those different shapes in there? I see triangles, I see tall rectangles, oval shapes, circles, semicircles. Oh, here's another triangle. There's also diagonal lines, zigzag lines, circles inside of circles, right? Look at my shape face up here. He's got all kinds of different shapes. We're going to make one together like this, or like this guy, right? Look how different they are, but they're all made out of shapes, right? Okay, so the supplies you're going to need today are going to be 2 pieces of white paper and some assorted crayons, including black. Now is a good time to pause your video and gather all of your supplies. Now that you've gathered all your supplies, let's go ahead and get started. Get one of your pieces of white paper and put it in front of you, vertically or tall, and grab your black crayon. Got it? Here's my black crayon. Here's one paper. If you've got 2 papers, put the other one underneath. We're going to practice a few skills that we're going to use in order to draw our shape face, okay? We're going to do some big shapes, little shapes, tall shapes, short shapes. Let's get started. Okay, let's draw a line down the middle of our paper, which is a vertical line and it's straight. Got it? That was easy. We've been doing this all school year. Y'all are so good at vertical straight lines. Okay, let's do 2 squares on this side of the line. Got it? And let's do 2 small squares on this side of the line. Good. We have big squares and we have small squares. Let's do more squares on this side and less squares on this side. I'm going to add 1 more. We have more on this side and less on this. Good. Let's fill these little shapes with little lines. Watch. My little squares are filled with lines, and my big squares are empty. These are empty, these are full. These are big, these are small. There's less on this side, there's more on that side. Great. Let's do triangles. Let's do tall, skinny triangles on this side. I have 3 tall, skinny triangles. I'm going to do more triangles on this side, and they're not going to be as tall. I have 4 small triangles. Good job. I think we should do circles. Let's do circles. How about that? I'm going to do 1 big circle. I'm going to do a smaller circle in the inside and a smaller circle, even smaller. How tiny can you get? Look at that. My circle is filled with circles that are getting smaller. How did you do? Give me a thumbs up if you did awesome on that. It's not easy sometimes, especially if you start out with a circle that's too small. If that happens, then you can get bigger. Look, my circles are getting bigger. You can do it 2 ways. Bigger to smaller, smaller to bigger. Great. Let's do some rectangles. Sometimes rectangles are hard. Let's do tall rectangles. I did 1 tall rectangle. Next to that tall rectangle, I'm going to do a short rectangle. This rectangle is taller than this rectangle. That means this rectangle is shorter than this rectangle. That's all good information. Let's go ahead and do some ovals. How many ovals are you going to do? I did 2. I'm going to fill my ovals with circles. Right now they're empty. Now I'm going to fill them with little circles. Perfect. All right, I think we're all warmed up. Go ahead and get your other piece of paper. You can put this one underneath if you'd like. If you want to put it next to it so you can look back at it and make sure you are doing the right shapes. I have my new piece of white paper and I have my black crayon. We're going to use our colored crayons in a minute, okay? All right, I want you to go ahead and make a line down the middle of your paper, not all the way from the top to the bottom. Maybe start somewhere right here. How about that? And don't go all the way to the bottom. We have a line in the middle of our paper. It's not touching the bottom and it's not touching the top. Got it? Great. We're going to let's make a long diagonal line on this side, almost to the corner. Got it? That's diagonal. That means it goes from corner to corner. And let's make a shorter diagonal line. So don't make it as long. This side is longer. This side is shorter. Great. Okay, let's make a short vertical line on this side. You ready? And a long vertical line on this side. See how all of these faces are very, very different. If yours doesn't look exactly like mine, it's okay. All right, at the very bottom of the first vertical line that we put, let's do a horizontal line. Got it? Now we're going to connect those lines. Watch. This one to this one, and this one to this one. Does that look like a normal face? Does that look like the shape of my face or your neighbor's face? No way. These are geometric shapes, remember? Abstract and Cubism, they're usually made out of geometric shapes. Can you say that? Geometric shapes. Okay? All of these faces are very angular, right? Some of them have a few curved lines, but they're silly. They're super silly faces. All right, let's go ahead and make a nose. I think we'll do a triangle nose in the middle. Watch. Down, across, and up. The tall, skinny triangle. On the side of each of your triangle, I want you to do a semicircle. That's a half of a circle. One on each side. That's his nostrils, right? We have that. That's his nose bridge, and we have nostrils. One on each side. I did a rectangle nose on this one and two squares on the side. When we're done with making our Picasso face, you can make your own later, right? And use different shapes to build your nose and your eyes. Let's fill one side of his nose with lines, straight lines. This side is full and this side is empty. Perfect. Okay, on this one, this face, I did a triangle eye on one side and a circle eye on the other. In this face, I did a square eye and a semicircle eye. You can pick whatever shape you want to build your eye. Watch. On this one, I'm going to do a square on this side and a circle on this side. Nice and big shapes, so you can add more shapes inside of the shapes, right? Perfect. In this one, I put a line across and gave him a little pupil. Look, this one has two curved lines, almost like an oval. This one, those are all the same. Look here's the eye like this one. You could put a rectangle inside of one eye and then a circle. That's a silly eye. What can I do on this one? I could put a semicircle, half of a circle, and a pupil. Is yours looking silly? Mine is. Every time I do one of these faces, they all look completely different. There's so many shapes and lines, right? In this eye, I'm going to fill it with little lines on the top and the bottom. If you want to give one of your eyes maybe eyelashes, you can. These I did straight. These I did off the side. Watch. I'm going to do zigzag on this one. He looks very, very silly. And I'm only using lines and shapes to create this silly Picasso style shape face, right? Okay. On this one, I put like, it's almost like a crown, maybe? I did semicircles on this side. They got bigger, smaller, 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 smaller. This one went from tall to short. So let's do rectangles and go tall. And as you go down his face, his head, you can get shorter and shorter and shorter, right? It goes from tall to short. If you want to go from short to tall on this side, you can do that. I'm going to make curved lines on this one. I'm going to go from small to big. It's okay if it goes off the page. Small to big. Good. I think there's more little lines on this side than there are on this side. That means this side has less short, straight lines than this side. Okay? I think we should add maybe something to the side of his head like ears. Look at this one. This one has curved lines and a triangle for an ear. This one has a rectangle ear. And this one has curved lines for an ear on the left. I think I'm going to make a tall, skinny rectangle on this side with some silly lines on the inside. What are you going to do? You have two sides and they need to be different. Both ears need to be very different. I put a diamond earring on this side of this silly face. I could maybe do a circle this time with circles inside of circles. I have a lot of space on this side, so I should do a really big ear on this side. Let me see. I think I'm going to do a semicircle again, just like this one. Watch. Really big. But I'm going to fill it in with tiny circles. Watch. Or maybe they'll get bigger as they go down his head, and then smaller again because I'm filling in the semicircle. Look, it's full of circles. They go from small to big and then big to small. You try it. Your faces are looking awesome. Okay, perfect. It looks like we are missing his mouth. We don't have any triangles in our picture. I definitely have to put some triangles for his lips. I'm going to put a horizontal line for his mouth. That's going to be the middle of his lips. Everyone go ahead and put a horizontal line for his lip. And then I'm going to make it a triangle. Watch. Diagonal, diagonal. That's his bottom lip. This one right here. This guy has a bottom lip. This one's a sideways triangle. This one's a semicircle. Looks like this is two rectangles. Oh, look at this one. It's a circle with a circle inside, like he's going, ooh. I think I'm going to do two triangles for the top of his lip, like this one. Watch. Up, down, up, down. You could do two curved lines if you'd like. They're your mask lips. Perfect. I think I'm going to fill in his bottom lip with tiny triangles. Watch. Oh, I think I'm going to do that here too. This one has triangles inside of triangles, right? Perfect. I think he needs a little neck. This one has a little rectangle for a neck. Maybe I'll do a long, skinny rectangle with a long, skinny rectangle, one on top of each other. You could do yours in a little rectangle. This one has 3 lines, and then it's kind of pointy right here, and I did little triangles in it. Perfect. On some of these pictures, they have other shapes that fill in big empty spaces. Some of them have cheeks. Look, this one has a triangle cheek with circles inside. This one has circle cheeks, one semicircle and one circle with an oval. You can do that too. I think I'm going to do a square cheek on this side with a diagonal lines. And on this one, I'm going to do a semicircle. Good job. When you're all done with your black crayon, we're going to go ahead and fill it in now with colors. We've used lines, we've used shapes, we did our Cubism face just like Pablo Picasso did, right? And it's very abstract. It doesn't look like a normal face. It's a silly face using all the things you've been learning about in your math class with your classroom teacher. So you can go ahead and get your crayon and start filling in the different shapes, right? I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do maybe this eye with pink. And since I have my pink in my hand, I'm going to go ahead and fill in these dots. I wonder if there's another space I could fill in since I've already got this in my hands. How about this one? His neck. Perfect. Then you can get another color. Look how bright these faces are, right? So I'm not going to color orange right here and then orange on the background. I want to make sure I have bright, beautiful colors all over my picture. So when I have orange in my hand, I fill in lots of spaces with orange. And guess what? His lips don't have to be the same color on each side. They can be any color you want them to be. All right. How about some green? You can get any color you want. I'm going to do green. Green. Ooh, a green eye. I'm going to fill in this part of his lip with green. Do you see another spot I can do green? I can always come back to green if I feel like I need to add more green. Our face does not look the same on both sides. It's not symmetrical, right? It's different on both sides. It's called asymmetrical. Maybe I want to use all the colors in the rainbow. So I'm going to do his nose with blue. Maybe the last part of his lip with blue. And part of this earring with blue. That's a triangle. 2 triangles made that diamond. Did you know that? Let me think. What color have I not used? Yellow. I think I'm going to use yellow. While I have yellow in my hand, I'm going to color some of these. I'm going to color the smallest square, or it was a rectangle. And I'm going to color the ear, part of his ear. That's a semicircle or a curved line. And maybe I'll finish up this earring. How's it looking? It's starting to get full of colors. Let's see, I have not used red. Oops, it's kind of pink. I'm going for it. Pink. It's the same color as his neck. I guess I needed it there. Let's see, how about more of it? Are you using all the colors in the rainbow? You can use black again if you want to. Maybe you want this nose to be black. Look here, I added a dotted line. Maybe I want another dotted line here, right? I might use purple to do my background on this side. He's super colorful. It wouldn't be the same if we just did him in two colors. It might be a little boring or less colorful. Look. I'm not going to do both sides of his face purple because I want it to look very interesting. Look at, some of these are the same color, but some of them are very different on both sides, right? What color is your face? Orange and green? Blue and red? I have a little bit to go. Let's see. I think I need a little bit more blue on this side. And this side. These are my curved lines or my semicircle. This one is bigger than this one. This one's really small. The green one's the smallest one, right? And the green one is the tallest rectangle on this side. And this cheek is filled with circles, tiny little circles. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Finish it up with that red I've been looking for. I'm almost done coloring in my abstract shape face. Maybe I'll do red. How's it looking? I'm almost done with my background. I can leave some spaces white too. If you like your spaces white, that's fine. Again, you can also add some more black. What's good about the black too is you can always come back. Look, I forgot to put some eyelashes on here. Black will cover right over it. You can do semicircles on the top of some of your other pieces. Maybe you want to do some dashed lines on the earring. Maybe you want to color in this ear. Black is good for that because it couldn't go over any of your other colors, right? So what do you think? It looks pretty good, huh? I want you to think about all the different shapes that you've been learning about in math class and think about how you could use different shapes to draw your picture. Today we use shapes, lines, and colors to draw our masterpiece. Pablo Picasso would be really proud to see your abstract shape, cubism, silly faces, right? I love this, and I think that later on today or when you get home, you can draw another silly shape face, right? Today was really awesome. We learned all about Pablo Picasso and his silly shape faces. We learned about the word cubism, sculpture, and abstract. We talked about some of the math concepts like more than, less than, big, small, short, tall, empty and full. I hope you had as much fun as I did today creating such a silly face. I can't wait to see y'all next week.